All right, MMA Maniacs, it's time once again for Split Decision, your weekly MMA podcast brought to you from the Ruloff Family Inc. studios. It is Bueller and Dodge at the mics, ready to break down some news and some fight cards and whatever else we can find in the wide world of MMA. You can find us on Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes, our website, splitdecisionmma.com, and of course, newly added to iHeartRadio.com. Look us up. We're one of the few MMA podcasts they have, and of course, we're the best. So just bookmark that one and listen to it every week. I'm just saying, it's worth it. Tell your friends, like us on Facebook, Split Decision MMA Podcast, or on Twitter and Instagram, it's SD_MMA. Big thanks to StrongboardBalance.com. They're our sponsor, so thank you very much.
StrongboardBalance.com.
Yeah, change the way you work out. Get on board at StrongboardBalance.com.
And also catch us on MyMMANews.com, your 24/7 source for MMA news.
Because we can't do this show live all the time.
We can't just sit in the studio, which is why we're doing it this morning on a Saturday morning, a drizzly Saturday morning
yeah.
in Northern California. The sun does not shine today. It's going to be a sad day.
It's weird.
It's weird.
It was nice and sunny, too, like the whole week.
Yeah, and I also...
Beautiful.
Yeah, I feel like we're getting acclimated for the fights tomorrow, because the pre-card doesn't even start till like 9. I think it starts 9 in the morning tomorrow.
Something like that, because it's in Croatia, right?
Croatia, yeah. So the people on the East Coast are getting a good afternoon fight.
We're getting got to get up and get coffee fight.
Yeah, I'm still going to be groggy.
Punches and pancakes, right? That's what we always like to say.
Oh, that's good.
Pancakes and punches or something like that.
Yeah, pancakes, bliffs and blunts.
Bong and a blitz. Moving on to the news, we have Norman Park has announced his release from the UFC. Norman Park was 5-4-1. Again, this came out April 1st, right after we did our show. He says it's not an April Fool's joke. He has been released.
Yeah, he's going to go somewhere else.
Do you think you'd say Norman Park goes to Bellator or goes to World Series or one of the organizations? Or
I don't know. After doing some research, everybody's got money right now, and everybody's trying to weasel their way or money their way to the top here. I mean, even King of the Cage is talking about a big promotion push. So
I think a lot of it has to do with the Reebok deal. I mean, we talk about this over and over again, and every MMA outlet talks about this over and over again, that guys are just leaving because they're not making as much money. I mean, Vitor Belfort just re-signed with the UFC and said he lost millions of dollars.
then why do you resign?
Because he knows that it's the number one organization.
Right.
And that's exactly what he said.
Right.
If you want to fight the top guys, I mean, guys are starting to leave a little bit, and you're getting top guys in organizations, but it's like a huge gap. You got 2 guys, maybe 3 at the top, and then, what is it like in Moneyball? 50 yards of shit, and then us. Like that's like the rest of the guys kind of towards the bottom of the heap that just, they're trying to build the league, but the UFC does have the best talent overall.
Even though we're starting to get into the realm of carnival fights.
You kind of are, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we're going to talk about the Mitrione thing. The statements made by Mitrione when he said that he talked to Fertitta, that's got to resonate with a lot of people right now.
How he feels he was disrespected?
Well, just that Fertitta basically told him, our product is not the fighter. Our product is the stage.
Is the UFC.
Show. Is the show.
Yeah, it's the UFC.
Yeah.
It's the 3 letters. And in fact, I mean, they talk about that when they bought the UFC, that, you know what, we're not buying anything but those 3 letters.
Yeah, but like Mitrione says, those 3 letters don't mean shit if you don't have people in the ring fighting.
That's true. I mean,
and WWE ran into this too, where, McMahon started pushing his product more than he did about his fighters. And it, it had to go to court to the point to where they finally started getting decent salaries.
Yeah. Those guys work crazy schedules.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely nuts.
They're almost like rock stars.
Oh, yeah.
Stage, I think they got two complete moving stages, and basically the fighters move amongst the 2 moving stages constantly, That's like a rock star.
Yeah. It's pretty nuts. Romero has reached a settlement with the USADA. Remember, he failed his performance-enhancing drug test back in December, was suspended. Let's see what the suspension came down to. It looks like they agreed to a 6-month ban, which will start January 12th. So he'll be eligible to fight again June 11th.
It's crazy that these guys can go in and negotiate this stuff.
I mean, the last time they said it was 2-year suspension. So now he's got it down to 6 months.
Like I said,
I think being his first time that he's been busted. I mean, obviously the guy looks like he's been on something. They have the smell test that they always talk about, but it was a dietary supplement that he said was contaminated with a banned substance. He didn't know exactly what it was. I mean, what do you think?
If you got somebody, it seems like you should be able to nail them to the wall and hold them to whatever you hit them with.
Yeah,
And if you don't got them, then I don't know why you're negotiating.
I mean, I understand, they always say you got to be responsible for what you put in your body. I mean, obviously you should be firing your supplement guy.
Yeah, but I mean, like we had somebody in the WMMA recently who's going to get tagged for something that made her pee more.
Diuretics, yeah. But it helps you lose weight, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't understand how making you pee more is a performance enhancement.
Because it also they say that it also hides what you had in your system because you're flushing it out. Diuretics can also help you. Not only do they help you cut weight,
it's a masking agent.
It's kind of a masking agent to help you flush everything out of your system. If you were to have something, most fighters use it to cut weight,
right?
For the most part. So, but they're saying that it has the opportunity for other things. Also announced on April 1st, right after the show wrapped, Daniel Cormier out of his fight against John Jones.
You know what?
That was supposed to be April 23rd. That's next week or the week after?
Yeah, but we had it a week before, but we couldn't confirm it.
Yeah.
I mean, we still put it out, but we just said it was unconfirmed. And I think that they held their tongue because they were hoping that Jones was going to jail.
Yeah, right?
Right. And then if Jones couldn't get out of jail,
then it's not their fault.
Well, yeah, and they would have never had to announce anything, and they could have kept it to themselves.
Out of the fight due to injury. So who do we get? Number 6, OSP. Over in St. Peru, we'll be fighting John Jones.
I like this fight. I really do.
April 23rd. It's pretty interesting.
I think it's the fight he should have had anyway. I think I think he should have had one tune-up fight before he fought for the belt.
Do you think it is just a tune-up fight?
Yeah, well, it's an interim fight, right?
So yeah, come to find out, this will be for an interim belt. But I mean, again, do you consider it a tune-up fight for him?
If he loses, it was definitely a tune-up fight.
It's just an easy fight for John Jones to come back to.
I'm not gonna say that this is gonna be an easy fight for him, but I am gonna go with it's number 6. He's coming in. He's fighting number 6. I didn't believe he should have come right back and fought for the title. I don't believe he should have fought anybody in the top 3.
And we talked about this when he first got suspended a while back. Remember when he got busted for cocaine? He was the whole thing, everything. When he got his suspension laid down and he was gonna have his fight back, and he got his title stripped. We all sat here and asked and talked about this. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And we said, when he comes back, does he get an immediate title shot, or do you put him in the top 5? Do you put him in the top 10? Where do you put John Jones? And I think we agree. I don't have to go back and listen, but I think we said anywhere top 5 or top 10, he should have a fight or 2, at least 1, and then fight for the title.
Right. So that's like putting him in at 5, making him go against 6. And that's what's going on.
Yeah, but having the original fight of just immediate title shot, that didn't sit well with you?
No, I didn't think it was. I think it's fair on one hand that Cormier didn't actually take the belt from him. So I understand
that the UFC took the belt from him.
Yeah, that the belt. Yeah, they took the belt and then Cormier got the belt that way.
And I do like that they didn't just hand it to him. He did have to fight for it. He did fight Johnson. You know what I mean? He fought Rumble.
Right.
Which, by the way, Rumble was the next choice instead of OSP. The first choice. However, Rumble had. Did you see what it was? It was like oral surgery or something. He just got out of something. Was unable to take the fight. So OSP going to go up. John was not happy that Daniel Cormier offered to train OSP. He says, "Look, I already have a training camp set up. It's completely set up for John Jones. You can have my training camp. We will take care of it." He's like, "We'll fly OSP and his team out. We'll put them up. We'll give them a place to stay." You can use anybody from AKA. I got Cain Velasquez that I train with, Luke Rockhold I train with, Chai Lewis Perry that I train with, Frank Munoz that I train with. Any of these guys are option. On my pocketbook, I will pay for it. I'll be one of his coaches. Like, nobody wants John Jones to win. Nobody wants to fight him more than me, but I've already got a full training camp that you can have if you want it. John Jones did not like that at all. Said that he was being a coward.
It's just like a trolling. It is a trolling tactic.
Pretty big Twitter beef going on. My favorite was DC's response was, no, a coward is running away from a scene of an accident and not checking on to see if the pregnant woman was okay.
And there's some people in the underground that seem that it was kind of a slap in the face for, even though OSP and Cormier know each other, they talk to each other.
Right.
It's kind of a slap in the face to OSP's camp.
Yeah, he
like
did
saying like they weren't the caliber.
Yeah, he did decline. He said, I'm feeling confident about it. I appreciate it, but my coaches are preparing me. I will be fine. He's going to be ready.
Yeah, because the last thing you want is him to win and him be trained by their camp and go, well, it was because he came over here and this is
right.
Because I think he has a good shot. I think this fight is maybe 45-55.
It's gonna be an interesting fight for sure.
Yeah.
I still think John Jones will come out on top, but I think it's gonna at least go 3 rounds.
Yeah,
maybe 4. I don't think it goes to decision.
OSP is just so powerful.
He's a pretty big powerful guy. But it's interesting. John Jones is looking pretty good for coming back. Obviously he's had nothing to do but yard work.
Right. Busting rocks.
Yeah. Out of the April 16th fight with Khabib Nurmagomedov, Tony Ferguson is injury bound and now unable to fight. The light heavyweight Rashad Evans and Glover Teixeira will take over as the main event.
But they did sign somebody to fight.
Nurmagomedov still on the card, will now fight newcomer, which this to me is just a little nuts. Daryl Horcher at a catch weight of 160. Daryl Horcher is 12-1 on a 5-fight win streak. Last 2 by TKO. Currently holds the CFFC lightweight championship belt. His last 7 all went to the 3rd round. His last loss was Philip Nover in Bellator.
I want to know. Okay, I posted the Twitter beef that was going on between the Eagle and Cerrone. And Cerrone says he signed a contract.
So does Khabib. Khabib has his signatures on a contract, of course, because you're still on the fight. So I didn't see anywhere. Maybe I didn't pay much attention to it, but I didn't see anywhere that said it was a fight to fight Cowboy Cerrone. It was just a fight contract that you took a picture of.
I like that.
You're already signed to fight somebody. Of course, you have a signed contract.
I like how someone said, "Karen Bryant, is this true? Did Cerrone turn down the fight because he's injured?" And Cerrone automatically he goes, "How the fuck does she know? I'm sitting on the couch telling you I'm 100%." You know what I mean? Ask the horse.
I'm sitting in the room, dude. I'm right here. Don't tag me to ask somebody else the question.
Right. I do. I like the fact that he was paying attention. He was like, "Look, you dipshit.
Why don't you just ask me? Who are you fucking asking?"
You tagged me in it.
Yeah. It was pretty funny. Who are you asking? Really?
Right.
Really? Yeah. Ultimate Fighter 24. Can you believe 24? 24, man.
I'm telling. I think
this is like American Idol. How long is this show going to go on? You know what I mean?
Hey, if they start bringing celebrities, if Gwen Stefani shows up for a tough, what are we gonna do?
I'm pretty sure we almost had that with the heavyweight episode. You know what I mean? You had Kimbo, you had Metrione, who was a football star. You had Big Baby, remember him? He was a football star.
Right.
You had all these guys. There wasn't a lot of heavyweights out there at the time, so to me that was the celebrity edition.
And and not to pull away from this, but just the UFC's involvement in Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, you see they got the octagon?
She's ridiculous.
She's dancing on there?
It is so ridiculous.
But, they do that with any other stars. They had Carlton doing the Carlton dance.
Right.
When he was on there. They have all these guys, they always bring something from their previous
I don't know. They're just softening
profession.
They're softening the warrior image, in my opinion.
They're not just warriors. They do other things.
Hey,
they have other hobbies.
I like.
They have other hobbies.
I like Cruz in his defense when Dillashaw was saying, he kept saying all these mean things. He's like, well, we don't exactly get in the ring and do nice things to each other,
right?
We didn't get in there and do nice things to each other for 5 rounds. Come on.
Anyway, Ultimate Fighter 24 is now going to feature all flyweights. And will be a tournament for a number 1 contender to see who will fight Demetrius Johnson. I like the tournament rounds. I really do. We got to see that with the strawweight, who got to be crowned the champion there. champion will be crowned. Remember that all the women?
Right.
Obviously, the rankings was a little weird that they kind of came up with. They
Yeah,
talked about that. All
yeah.
the girls talked about that.
Every girl we talked to, they're like, they didn't understand what the ranking system was. And to some of them, the ranking system was
actually beneficial.
Yeah, and to others, it was correct,
Yeah.
Felice Herrig kept telling us she didn't understand why she was so
low.
Or
mid,
and then she found out why she was so low and mid,
Yeah, I mean, but they did say a lot of it was for styles make fights. I mean, they were trying to match up some girls to fight that they thought were going to, and they did it. It turned out to be some good fights. So we're going to have, if you can make it out on the 25th of April to the Palace Station Casino in Las Vegas, you can go try out. You must be 21 to 34 years of age, have 3 pro fights, and possess a winning record. Also must be, obviously, in the 125-pound division.
I wonder how many people show up for this.
You can call Rolando?
Tell Rolando get it. He probably already knows.
But I cut weight, bro.
Cut weight.
Because he's not a flyweight.
But he could probably get down to it.
He can get down to 125?
Look like a skeleton. No, that's only 10. He should be able to do it.
He could do it. Rolando, get on that, man.
Get on it.
Let's. I want to hear you over there. So then we had. Before we get to that, let's go over to GSP. GSP is getting a TV show on the History Channel.
Is it about aliens?
No, it is about what he really loves, which is paleontology.
Wow.
It's going to be Jurassic Park. George St. Pierre. Actually, I think it's called Jurassic. Or let's see, George St. Pierre. The Boneyard with George St. Pierre. There we go. The Boneyard will be on the History Channel April 14th, 9 p.m.
That was going to be my show on the porn channel.
He said he loves watching. He's like, I don't watch sports. I watch the Canadian version of the Discovery Channel. You can ask me any question about the Jurassic period or Cretaceous period, and I could probably answer it. Seriously, I'm into paleontology, the study of prehistoric life. I'm into philosophy and psychology. Did you know that Tyrannosaurus Rex has been found with feathers? Feathers!
We need to get him on the bear versus pterodactyl.
Right?
And see what he says.
We seriously do. I'm just going to tweet him nonstop until he answers the question. And we'll see what we can do. So yeah, he's going to get his own show. He's got over 2 exciting half-hour specials already ready to go.
This will be the second fighter on History,
living
right?
out his childhood dream, tracking down the most vicious predators to ever walk the earth.
Because we just had Tim Kennedy. His show was on History, right?
Yeah, I believe so. South Dakota's, Alabama, Argentina. Yeah. Well, check out George St. Pierre digging up dinosaur bones, acting like a little kid. All right, so the big news from last week, adding more to the super card that is UFC 200. We're going to have another title fight.
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
You have Miesha Tate going to be taking on Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes
by choice
is number 4 ranked on the rankings.
Right.
Miesha Tate obviously coming out for her big win over Holly Holm in March. This will be going down July 9th with Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor, which as Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor as the headliner, how do you feel as a fighter on UFC 200? I mean, obviously you're happy to be on UFC 200, but there are 2 title fights going on now. You have Jose Aldo Frankie Edgar for the interim, Miesha Tate, Amanda Nunes for the actual belt. Going on before the rematch of, I mean, would you consider this a super fight, the Diaz-McGregor? I mean, maybe that's why they're doing it. You remember back in the UFC, like 10 days where it's like you'd have all the fights, even championship fights, and then you'd have the super fight.
Yeah, this to me, it's the carnival fight. This is the one guy fights 10 guy fights. You know,
all right.
Come and see him in the ring. Take on 10 guys. Sunday.
I got myself into a little argument with one of our listeners/readers.
He's an MMA guru.
I don't know if I can give him that.
You can't, Eric DeGroot.
I know.
The MMA guru.
He may try to call me out on this. I know he did do this podcast.
He's a founding father of the show
with Joey.
We'll give him that.
On 1 or 2 episodes.
Right.
They were boring as shit. And he didn't win any awards. I can tell you that for doing a podcast. And it's not like he's got nothing else to do. He sits at home and trolls the internet all day. So he could be doing this professionally.
I almost think there's something personal there.
He did say, he feel, and I understand. Amanda Nunes is a contender. I do not believe she is the number 1 contender and deserving of a title shot right now. The top 15 women's, she hasn't defeated anybody in the top 15. Her last loss was against Kat Zingano, who is making her return
Right.
and has beat Misha.
Right. That's what, that's the one part of your argument that I like.
My number one was
Cats beat both these girls
decisively, making a comeback. And I understand she has had a year layoff. She had an injury. So maybe they don't give her the title shot right away. But, I mean, you gave John Jones the title shot right away when he came back. So
yeah, and you're giving McGregor a rematch of a fight that doesn't mean shit.
Yep. So I don't understand some of the decision. Also, Holly Holm is healthy and wants the fight, wants her rematch. She did just lose the title.
That's easy though. Between me and you set 2 fights in front of me. I'm taking the Nunes fight over Holm all day.
Everyone was kind of questioning why this fight happened with obviously Cat Zingano being healthy. Cat Zingano, in fact, last week was putting out there she did a couple interviews on her Instagram. I have a fight coming up. It's going to blow everyone away. It's going to be a contender. This is going to be a fight that means something. This is something good. I'm ready to get back in there. And then when this got posted, she posted a picture of her kind of throwing her hands up like, what?
Right.
What?
Right.
So I don't know if she was maybe contacted for this fight and they said, okay, we have to see what Misha wants.
I'm almost wondering...
But she's not going to come out and be catty about it, Cat Zingano. But instead, we got to hear from Misha Tate. Misha Tate was given the option to fight Holly Holm, and she turned it down.
Right.
Because in her words, I already defeated her. I don't have nothing else to prove. Right. She doesn't deserve a rematch because she only held the belt for one fight. And I defeated her. Right.
And see, I think Joe Silva set up all these fights or possibility of fights, and he thought for sure Misha would take the home fight, and then they would put Nunes against Zingano, and because she's a contender,
I think that's a perfect welcome back fight,
right? And that would have been the killer fight, and I think that's the fight that she thought was going to happen.
Yep.
But then Tate takes Nunes. There's no way they're going to give Cat home.
Nope.
So
yeah, and originally a lot of people were saying Holm was being punished. Holm was not given the option to be fighting Misha. She was being punished because she did not take the Rousey rematch when she was told to. She didn't want to wait for Rousey to come back to take the money fight. The big money fight was that. Dana White's gone on a tirade about her management and how he feels that she chose the wrong fight, and that this is why she's getting pushed aside.
Right, and that's what I was going to say too, is because this is like the Jones of old. It's not when we say that Holmes made a decision to do this or do that, she did not.
Yeah,
her management did. Is the one, because even I don't know if it
they
came out this morning.
Talked to her. They said they do bring it before her, but they tell her what she should do.
Right, because this morning or last night, I think her management also came out and said that they would rethink the possibility of her fighting Cyborg.
Yes.
Which is something that they had turned down. They didn't even want to discuss.
They didn't want to discuss at the time. Yeah.
So maybe they went into close quarters, and
Misha Tate also, she said that the UFC was pushing for Nunes.
Right.
She was given the option of both fights, but they seem to be pushing for Nunes because it's a new person. It's somebody else we can start promoting. It's something else. I don't know. I mean, a big ups to Amanda Nunes. I hope you do well. I do feel that Misha's going to get the better of this fight, and I do think this is to tie her over to see who she fights next.
Right.
Cat Zingano has announced her fight finally. She has been given now Juliana Pena, which I think is a great fight. That's actually one I thought she might fight in. This will be also at UFC 200.
How are they going to disperse all this money?
Nobody's getting paid.
I mean, really, because the two guys who are going to make money is the people that aren't even fighting for a rank or a belt.
Yep. Like I said, obviously Reebok's not paid for this card. I think that's what it comes down to. So Cat Zingano going up against Juliana Pena. I do like this fight. I'm excited about this fight. To me, this puts together a number one contendership bout. Either one of these girls could have fought or should have fought Amanda Nunes. And that could have been a number one contender bout. Again, I think that I don't believe that Amanda Nunes was the clear number one choice. I do think she is a contender. I just don't see her as the number one contender. We'll see where it goes from there. I mean, Alexis Davis is still up there even though she's pregnant.
And if she does win, who does she fight next?
Amanda Nunes?
Yeah.
If Amanda Nunes takes the title, she has to fight. I mean, your next person is either Holly or whoever wins this.
Why not Ronda?
If she comes back in time, if she wants to fight in the fall, that's apparently when Ronda's coming back, is in the fall.
Right.
Or again, I could even see Cat Zingano or Juliana Pena, whoever wins that fight, is the number one contender. I'm perfectly okay with that. I think that's what should happen. Again, I think a couple girls got stepped over, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's not nothing new.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
Because again, we have to look at these rankings that we see aren't the actual rankings.
For sure.
There's,
but I mean,
Joe Silva has a whole other book of his ranking.
I do feel, though, she is the clear number 4.
Right.
Amanda Nunes, in my opinion. You do have Holm and Rousey ahead of her.
Right.
And Kat Zingano, even though she's been off for a year. Again,
Definitely.
my dream fight, or not dream fight, but my booking would have been Kat Zingano, Amanda Nunes for the number 1 contendership bout. We don't need to have Misha fight right away.
Right. Well, that's because you're like Joe. You probably want Cupcake to hold that belt a little bit longer.
Yeah, you know what I mean? There's other fights that we could put on this card.
Right.
Like, I mean, to me, this fight, they're just trying. I feel like Dana White is obviously just trying to cram this card
right
down everybody's throats and be like, this is the greatest UFC booking ever.
Right.
And we're going to pack it to the gills with championship fights that don't mean shit. We're going to give interim belts to everybody like he's fucking Oprah. We're gonna, you know what I mean? We're going to give you super fights that have nothing to do with anything. This is what's happening.
Right. And there's been a lot of women fighters who posed the question, too, why is it that there's no rush when men fighters get a belt for them to hurry up and fight somebody, but it seems like that when women get the belt, they want them to turn around and defend it quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. So, again, I don't know, man.
Right.
We'll see. And then last little bit of news before we can talk about, obviously we have the fight coming up. Now maybe we still want to talk, so let's look at UFC 200 real quick. Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor, Jose Aldo, Frankie Edgar, Misha Tate, Amanda Nunes, Cain Velasquez, Travis Brown, Johnny Hendricks, Kevin Gastelum, Gegard Mousasi, Derek Brunson, Diego Sanchez, Joe Lauzon, Sage Northcutt against Enrique Marin, Takanori Gomi against Jim Miller, Kat Zingano, Julian Pena. I know every single one of those names except for Enrique Marin.
Right, and I do not even know why Sage Northcutt is on this card.
Because he's Sage Northcutt and it's UFC 200.
But he did.
He is leading the fight pass because they need somebody.
Right.
And it's Sage Northcutt and he's on UFC 200.
Okay.
That's why.
All right.
Has nothing to do with he just lost.
Yeah.
He tapped out.
Because somebody had him in a nose hold.
Yeah. Yeah. UFC released a statement today revealing Frank Mir has been notified by the USADA of an anti-doping policy violation against his fight with Mark Hunt that happened in Australia.
It wasn't me.
That's pretty much what he's saying.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything other than he denies taking anything. He says, please, everybody, he's like, I've recently been notified that a test I took on the night of the fight came back positive for a substance I did not take. I don't know how that it is possible. I did not take any performance-enhancing drugs to compete. I've never tested positive for a banned substance. Since joining the UFC and becoming a 2-time champion, I've asked you to hold your judgment until all the facts have been revealed. So that's all we have. We don't even know if it's PED. We don't know if it's diuretic. We don't know what it is.
Right, and then like the story we led the show with. I mean, we got Yoel Romero making a deal. We could end up seeing Frank making a deal. Because I think he's about to retire anyway, right?
I feel like Danny needs to sit down and have the Chuck Liddell talk with him for sure.
Yeah, and it's a little bit different too because Mir actually he's going to be able to get on the microphone
for sure. He did great in the WEC.
Yeah,
he was able to break down fights and see things from a fighter's point of view, and he was able to.
He's going to be irritating like Stan, but still,
I like Stan.
I know because you like irritating people.
I don't like to irritate people.
I just like irritating people.
We have. Coming out of Croatia, which I'm surprised Crow Cop's not on this. I think he would have if he wasn't retired. I think they originally planned for him to be on this card in the future when they decided Croatia is going to be a place to go and fight in. But of course, that's a long time ago. Anyway, April 10th. This is going down tomorrow in the morning for us and afternoon for the East Coast. We're going to have Big Ben Rothwell going up against Junior Dos Santos in your main events. I'm
so psyched to see this guy because, again, he's going to try. His big thing is I want to beat not just a couple people. I want to beat everybody.
I want to beat everybody.
Anybody. And he wants to do it in like a memorable fashion.
Yeah. So you got the prelims on Fight Pass, the rest of the card, the main preliminary card, and your main card all on Fox Sports 1. Big names to look out for. Obviously, you got Ben Rothwell going against Junior Dos Santos in the main event. What do you think of that fight? Do you think Junior still got the hands, or do you think he's getting a little punch drunk?
I think that he's going to be really confused because Rothwell doesn't have a set fighting pattern.
No, he doesn't at all. He could throw some heavy kicks too. I mean,
Yeah.
back in the IFL, he was rocking guys.
And he has the ability just to toss people his size around.
He's pretty strong guy. I'm rooting for Big Ben on this.
Oh, yeah.
Gabriel Gonzaga, Man Bear Pig going up against Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis has been looking great lately.
Yeah.
I always root for Man Bear Pig.
Yeah, I'm going for Gonzaga.
Especially with that sweet stash he's got going on recently.
I just worry for him. Derek is really quick and powerful.
He is quick.
Yeah, so...
But I mean, maybe we'll get the Gonzaga that Crow Cop in Croatia.
I don't think so. I haven't...
Just throws one to the fans. Yeah, I'm going to throw the Crow Cop kick.
I haven't seen the speed
All right.
or the want, really, from Gonzaga lately. I mean, would you agree? I mean...
Yeah, I mean, he did come back kind of lackluster. Came back, did well, but I mean, yeah, he isn't the same guy that when he was fighting for the title.
Right.
When he fought Randy Couture back in the day and almost destroyed Randy there. It was a close fight. It was good, but Randy, Randy's Randy using the dirty box and was able to take that fight. Other big names, you got Igor Petrajic, Jan Blachowicz, light heavyweight fight going down on the main card.
And that welterweight, Nicholas Dalby.
Against Zach Cummings, that's a good fight.
Yeah, that's a great fight.
A lot of these names, obviously, I don't quite recognize. Some of these are the more the European fighters, and obviously, work gets in the way. I haven't been able to watch some of the up-and-coming prospects as much as I'd like to. Anybody else that kind of stands out to you?
On the Fight Pass, the Asker Cormier fight is supposed to be... There's been a lot of talk about it.
From both those guys, some up-and-comer heavyweights.
Yeah.
And obviously, you got Robert Whiteford against Lucas Martins. It's also a great featherweight fight on the Fight Pass.
Yeah, I didn't... Okay, so that's probably why I was wondering why I was talking about. I didn't realize that it was a heavyweight fight. So maybe these guys are just going to knock the shit out of each other.
Yeah, some up-and-comers. That'd be great. That's it. That's the show.
All right, thanks for joining us this Saturday afternoon. And as always, I'd like to thank StrongboardBalance.com. Change the way you work out. StrongboardBalance.com. Get on board. And, of course, MyMMANews.com, which is our second home. They're on the news 24/7. And on behalf of Dodge, myself, and Joe Bueller out of Rula Family Inc. Studios, have a good day, and we'll see you at the fight.